Hello, every pony, and welcome back to Fandom Fridays, where we proceed to check out all the fanfics that are not pony related. Why? Because a good fanfic that's not pony related is like ninja. Fast, quickly, without trace. You know, the last time we did Naruto on this show, it blew. No, bad brother! Oh yeah, it blew hard. And I feel like I didn't really establish that I enjoy Naruto in spite of Shippuden. I really enjoyed the first half, and I did enjoy the Hinata Naruto movie to death, and I also liked the ending that it did come up with, in spite of the fact that I think a certain pairing, i.e. Sasuke and Sakura, shouldn't have happened, but, you know, at least we made it, and yeah, Shippuden's not like exactly the worst, it just falters hard. Especially during a certain scene that shall not be named. Also, I want to congratulate Naruto on his win during the death battle. Woot. So, how about we take the time to make up for that mistake and actually read something good? Of course, how do we find a good fanfic? Well, we turn to the only fanfic I've got that has so far, a 9 out of 10 accuracy rating when it comes to good. TV tropes! And I happen to find one that's connected to Naruto. So, without further ado, join us here at the Terry Bay Memorial Library as we are proud to present Take It Slow by Linz. Enjoy. Take It Slow by Linz. Linz? Linz. Normal. I don't mind. First chapter, only chapter. Let's take it slow. Her eyes slowly skimmed the ceiling, counting the tiles above her one final time in an attempt to get some sleep. 190. Again, whispered Hinata. It had been 2 weeks since the 6 paths of pain attacked and destroyed the village, and only a week ago since she had woken up. While she was unconscious, Yamato had rebuilt the hospital in record time for everyone who had been severely injured. Tents were also set up outside for anyone who had minor injuries. Of everyone in the hospital, herself, Kakashi, and Choshi's dad had been the worst off. All of them had been on the brink of death. It was all thanks to Tsunade and Sakura that any of them were still here. Rebuilding of the village had begun immediately. The Kazekage, Gaara of the Sand, had sent out many ninjas and medics he could lend even a hand. Even Kakura and Tamari had come to help them out. During her 2 week stay in the hospital, so far only her teammates, Nancy and Sakura, had come to visit her. Hermione wandered to conversation this afternoon with Nancy. Heihachi-sama has requested only a few people may visit you, and for a guard at your door at all times. He wants you to recover as quickly as possible, said Nancy, pouring her a glass of water. He and Hanabe-san are on their way back, and should be here tomorrow night. Hinata simply nodded. Her father had become less strict and harsh over the years, but to simply disobey an order he had been given was practically like committing suicide. Has he attempted to see me at all? Turks, he can't help but notice you are using an all too familiar voice for Hinata. What? I'm not using my Fluttershy voice. Nezzy sighed softly, his eyes shifting to the door where Ko has been standing guard for her continuing. He knew exactly who she meant. No, I'm afraid he has not. Oh, Neji, I like your character arc and your character build and who you are and your design. I hope that Kishimoto doesn't decide to make you one of probably the only of the rookie 9 to die, because that would really piss me off. Still mad about that, aren't you? The scars still linger. Tears threatened to fall quickly, but she wiped them away with the back of her hand. Why haven't you come, Naruto-kun? Now whispered to herself, eyes closing. I want to see you, to
Make sure you're okay.
Even though she had confessed her feelings to Naruto, Hinata wasn't expecting to hear an answer from him, or at least not one right away for that matter. At the time, she had only wanted him to know the truth, that there was someone out there that didn't love him. However, confessing to him on the battlefield hadn't been her ideal choice. But under the circumstances, if she were to die by the hands of the enemy, Naruto had at least the right to know about her feelings. Her thoughts were interrupted when she heard the soft sound of tree branches being rustled, as if someone were jumping on them. She had been hearing it for the past week, but had ignored it since it was probably just the wind. However, tonight she knew the wind was at a standstill. Seeing her window was slightly open, and the curtains had moved.
Someone's outside? Has someone been watching me the past week?
Slowly, Hinata crawled out of her bed and grabbed her crutch, shuffled across the floor, lightly pressing the curtain out of the way so she could have a glimpse outside. Even though none of her legs were broken, Sakura suggested she use the crutch for balance, since the strength in her legs hadn't fully returned from being in bed over a week. The full moon shone brightly in the night sky, and at the foot of the tree closest to her window was the one person she hoped would come visit her. Naruto was pacing back and forth, even with her window open, so she could barely hear what he was saying to himself. After quickly thinking it over, Hinata turned her gaze to the door and activated Byakugan. She had been expecting to see someone, but there was no one there.
I thought Nezumi-san said he would be guarding my door tonight. So why?
A soft smile crossed her face as she shuffled out the door into the dark hallway. Again, there was no one there, and only sound could be heard where Kakashi snores across the room from hers. Closing the doors, she made her way down the hall, hoping the stairs wouldn't cause her too much trouble.
So, Hinata, nice to see you back on your feet. I know what you said about 2 weeks ago. God damn it, that sounds so stupid!
Hissed Naruto. He hit the train trunk with his fist, closed his eyes in frustration, and tried to slow down his breathing. It had been a week since he had woken up, and the first thing he was told was that he couldn't see her right away. Direct orders had been given from Heihachi, who had heard of what happened to Konoha and his daughter. He had almost picked a fight with Hyuga guarding the front door, but Neji pulled away and lectured him to calm down. Unfortunately, you can't see Hinata-sama right now.
What are you talking about? I had to see her. Come on, Neji. Can't I see her for a few minutes? I'm sure you can keep that small a secret from her.
Pray tell, what do you want to talk to her about, Naruto? His eyes widened, averting his gaze with Hyuga. His eyes stared at the ground while trying to think of an answer.
I really haven't.
First, think about what you're going to say. I am the only one she has told about exactly what happened between the two of you during the fight with Pain. Upsetting her right now is not...
You think I want to do something like that?
Neji raised his hand, silencing the blonde ninja. Just think about what you're going to say to her. Hyuga turned and returned to the hospital. Oh, and one more thing. Do not think of coming at night to see her, even though her window is open and I am the one guarding her. Naruto chuckled softly.
If that wasn't a giveaway.
He turned and looked up at the window to Hinata's current room. For the past week, he had been standing there or in the branches above, contemplating on what the hell he was going to say to her. An hour ago, as he had left his post at Hinata's door, eyeing him with a glare that practically said, "You better not be here when I come back." He clenched his hands into his fists, nails digging into his palms as he remembered the fight with Pain, and Hinata's words shocking him so much he was speechless. As soon as the words left her mouth, everything mysterious about the girl was suddenly clear in his eyes. The way she blushed and studied whenever he was around, the fainting spells, her geniality towards him.
All the girls acted like that around Sasuke. I just never thought it would happen to me, so I never noticed. Damn it! I still don't know what I'm going to say to her.
It was difficult to find the words when he himself did not know exactly what he felt for her. All in all, she was one of his precious people. I'm about to say a word that normally when it comes to random Japanese words being put into an English fanfic, I get miffed, but this word is very special. is something that all of us One Piece fans know by heart. And it's something that brings us together. Nakama. But he had never seen her as more than a comrade. He really felt a long conversation with the Hyuga heiress, but because they shared the same pain of wanting acknowledgement, being called failures, they had been formed a bond. Through the years, he had kept his eyes on Sakura, oblivious to Hinata's feelings. First, he saw her as a dark, plain, and timid when they were children. But now she's really pretty with long midnight hair. She doesn't dress like as Sakura-chan to show off their bodies, but a blush spread across his cheeks as a comment Kiba made about how the size of her chest had nothing to do with the bulkiness of her large coat. And yet, she was the very first person to say she loved him. Hearing those words, he was overwhelmed with a feeling of want, happiness, fear, and confusion. For years he had hoped and dreamed those exact words be said to him. But now they had been said, he had no idea what to do. Why can't I figure out what to say to her?
You could start by saying hello, Naruto-kun.
Naruto looked around to see Hinata standing behind him. She was leaning on her crutch for support, as her other hand was on the hospital wall for balance. A blush spread across his cheeks as he took in her black tank top and sweatpants.
What are you doing outside? You must be freezing!
Stuttered Naruto, shrugging off his orange and black jacket. The blush didn't disappear from his cheeks as he walked over to her and placed the warm jacket on her shoulders. His fingers brushed against her soft skin, which only caused his face to turn redder than before.
Thank you,
whispered Hinata. Naruto smiled softly before shifting his gaze from hers.
So, why are you up? Shouldn't you be sleeping?
Hinata's face became red as Naruto's, her gaze moving to her feet.
I couldn't sleep, and then I heard you were outside.
Scratching the back of his head, Naruto shifted uncomfortably from foot to foot.
Sorry, didn't mean to wake you.
Hinata shook her head, mumbling a soft,
It's okay.
that Naruto barely heard. He stared down at the girl before him, still at a loss of words. Sighing softly, he tried to make conversation.
Would you like to sit with me, Hinata?
She looked at the blonde ninja, a blush growing on her cheeks.
Where would you like to sit, Naruto-kun?
His eyes scanned the area, looking for the 9-cent bench they used to sit outside the hospital. Finally, the thick branch on the tree had been placing caught his attention.
How about up there?
After she nodded, Naruto wrapped his arms around Hinata's waist, pulling her close to him and propping her across against the side of the hospital.
Hold on.
In a single leap, they reached their destination. Naruto gently set Hinata down before taking a seat beside her. Silence persisted between the two, and neither really knew what to say to the other. Naruto stared up at the sky, scratching the back of his head, while Hinata stared at the ground, fingers fiddling with the material of her sweatpants.
Were you injured after the battle with pain?
Asked Hinata, keeping her gaze to the ground.
Just a little. I've had to take it easy for the past few weeks,
whispered Naruto. Whenever he was around Hinata, he never felt the need to show his tough side. He could always be himself.
What about you? How are you feeling after pain?
He couldn't finish. The incident was still fresh in his mind, when Pain's chakra blade pierced her body. Now his hand came to rest on her chest. Naruto saw the scar where he had been stabbed. He hadn't noticed it till now.
It still hurts just a little bit, but Sakura-san healed me, so I know it's gonna be okay. I still got some bruises here and there. I'm still a bit sore.
Naruto's eyes narrowed with guilt. If he had only been stronger, more aware of Pain's power. Hell, had he not left the village, none of this would happen. Hinata noticed the pained look on his face, and without thinking, she placed her hand on his shoulder.
Don't blame yourself, Naruto-kun. It's my own fault for jumping in like that. I shouldn't have.
Stop. Don't ever think like that,
whispered Naruto. He was both nervous and glad they were finally talking about what happened.
If you hadn't done that, even though I did transform, Pain would have captured me, and it would have been just like what happened with Gaara. So please don't think like that.
Naruto turned his head to look Hinata in the eye.
You're not scared of me, are you? Hinata's eyes widened. They said I was pretty scary looking. Something about a fox skeleton, and then almost going completely Ninetales, and I...
No, I'll never be scared of you, Naruto-kun.
Hinata whispered without starting once.
I've known about the Ninetales since I was a child. My father told me, and never once I've been scared about you.
A warm feeling of acceptance fell over Naruto. It was something that he never felt before, not even with his own teammates. Hinata took a deep breath and continued.
I meant what I said before I hit that pain.
Her hands clutched on top of his legs.
I've always admired you, had a crush on you, and later realized it wasn't just a crush, but something more. And I would have maybe said something sooner, but
Hinata,
Interrupted Naruto.
how long have you felt this way about me?
Since the first day I saw you at the academy. Whenever I looked at you, I would always feel this intense and warm feeling in my heart. I wanted you from...
Hinata dipped her head down, and before he could respond, she whispered softly to him.
I'm sorry, Naruto-kun.
Naruto tilted his head to the side.
Why, Hinata? You have nothing to be sorry for.
Back in our academy days, I knew you were alone and didn't have any friends.
Blue eyes narrowed slightly as the painful memories entered his mind. The cruel taunts and harsh words from the other ninjas was something that burned at the back of his mind.
Well, you didn't offer a single complaint?
Nah, it's already just too much.
I wanted to be your friend so much. I wanted to talk to you, play with you.
Naruto shifted closer to her. Her voice was apparently whispered.
But I was such a coward. I thought maybe you wouldn't want to be friends with someone like me, who was always making mistakes.
Enough.
Hearing his stern voice caused Hinata to raise her head, but she kept her eyes downcast, unable to look into his.
Please don't apologize for that.
But
It's okay, Hinata. I don't regret anything that's ever happened in the past, no matter how painful it is.
Nodding softly, Hinata shifted her gaze to look at Naruto in the corner of her eye, his own staring up at the full moon above him. Silence fell between them, but it wasn't awkward at all. It was peaceful.
Hinata, I had to be honest, like I've always have been with you.
His gaze fell down, and piercing blue eyes against soft lilac.
But what you said 2 weeks ago, I don't...
you like Sakura-chan, right?
Hinata interrupted. Always known Naruto harbored deep feelings for his teammate. It had been obvious for everyone. His eyes widened momentarily before the hand closest to hers scratched the back of his head. A trademark sign he was getting nervous.
I don't really know what it is I feel for Sakura-chan anymore. Maybe it's just a crush, maybe it's something more. But again, I've always been asking her out for years. She always said no. Guess this time I moved on. But in all honesty, I don't know what love is.
Hinata nodded softly, knowing perfectly well he didn't know anything about love.
However, when I'm around you, I feel at ease.
He whispered softly. Memories of seeing her before the final round of tuning exams flashed before him. On his way to fight against Neji, he had walked to the training grounds and found Hinata standing there. For the first time in his life, he let his guard down, telling her why he acted all tough dying to the pain of failing.
You're the first person I ever told why I act tough all the time. I showed my weakness in front of you. I was so down that day, but then you...
His hand left the back of his neck, slowly to rest on top of hers. Blue eyes still looked at him like once.
You cheered me up by telling me how proud I was of failure. That true strength was making mistakes, but having the guts to get back up.
Now I was too distracted by his words to notice his hand on hers.
Kiss her, you dork! You always seemed to leave me speechless. Back then, you did, and when you jumped in to save me from pain, it happened again.
His hand lightly squeezed hers, finally getting Hinata's attention that Naruto was holding her hand.
I want to find out more about you, Hinata. Whether we just end up staying friends or had something more.
A dark blush slowly spread across Naruto's cheeks, his eyes finally leaving hers to stare at the ground below. Hinata's cheeks were redder than his, while he stared at her hands. His on top of hers, she could feel the calluses and blisters on the palms from all his training on the back of her hand. How many times has she always dreamed and imagined his hand holding hers? Taking a deep breath, and gathering all the courage she could muster, she turned her hand in his, airlocking their fingers together, slightly squeezing back. Oh my God! Kissing! Lips together! Listen to me! Come on! Work with me, people!
We can start out slow, Naruto-kun. Just something like this would be a good start.
She whispered softly, holding onto his hands as if it were a lifeline. Naruto squeezed back just as hard, skewing closer together. Slow would be nice. I don't really want to start anything serious until this whole mess is over.
Right. Even if you do come to realize that you still like that Sakura-chan, we'll always be friends.
His trademark smile appeared. Thanks, Hinata. Their eyes left each other to stare back at the full moon, and the comfortable silence returned as they listened to the sound of the night. This is Princess Noodle speaking. I know I don't normally pop up unless I'm in a pony fic, but will you two please start making out? Oh, I almost forgot, said Naruto, as he opened the branch above them and grabbing a small bouquet of lilacs. Smiling, he passed them to Hinata, who grabbed them with her free hand. Found these outside the village today, and they reminded me of your eyes. Hinata brought the flowers up to her nose, sighing contentedly as the soft aroma relaxed her more.
Thank you very much, Naruto-kun.
Resting the flowers on the branch beside her, Hinata was about to suggest we return to her room before she noticed anything was missing. But then a thought came to her mind.
Have you been sitting outside my window this past week?
Naruto stiffened slightly. Guilty smile spread across his face. Yeah, that's been me. I wanted to talk to you, but I wasn't sure what exactly to say.
Didn't anyone see you?
Sakura-chan did a few times, and Neji did today. Both told me to grow some balls and just go see you instead of hiding in this tree. Hinata giggled softly, and turned her head to look in his eyes again. A soft blush dusting her cheeks as he once again summoned up her courage.
Tomorrow, would you like to go for a walk with me, Naruto-kun? We could talk more and I could get to know you more too.
Naruto's eyes widened slightly, before his face corrected to a grin. Are you asking me out on a date? Blood spread like wildfire across her face, and all Hinata could do was nod. He laughed softly. Sure, I had to help out rebuilding the village first, but after it's done, I would like to go for a walk with you. That is, if you're allowed to leave the hospital.
I think going for a walk would be fine, but I just can't overdo it. As long as it's before my father comes back, then everything will be fine.
Smiling softly, Naruto released Hinata's hand to stand up. Then he raised his arm up to stretch out his body, before kneeling back down to offer his back to Hinata. Let's get back into bed. Can I have you tired for a walk tomorrow? Returning the smile, Hinata nodded and crawled onto Naruto's back, her arms wrapping around his neck. He could feel the heat radiating off her face as his hands touched down to pass bifurcating off the lilacs before grasping her thighs. Naruto jumped down from the tree and headed back to the hospital, own face beat red, feeling her chest pressed against his back. I think having both my senseis as perverts have rubbed off on me the wrong way. Naruto? You have a woman with two massive gazangas rubbing against your back. I would be worried about you if you did not start feeling something. Sakura's hand shook as she watched Naruto and Hinata walk back to the hospital, her breath coming out in short, shaking pants, while her other hand clenched against her chest. She come to check on Hinata, but discovered that the Hyuga arrows was missing. Slightly panicking, she was about to search the hospital, but movement and voices outside caught her attention. Drawing the curtain back slightly, she watched as Hinata and Naruto sat in the tree talking. What had happened to them during the fight with Pain was a mystery to everyone. She could see Naruto outside Hinata's room countless times, and could not figure what the hell he was so nervous about. First, she thought it was just Naruto feeling guilty Hinata had gotten hurt on his behalf. Practically everyone in the village, except for Naruto himself, knew Hinata had a crush on him, which was obviously the reason she had gone down to help him. However, as she watched them talk, and saw as Naruto grasped Hinata's hand in his, it was obvious something had changed. Had Hinata confessed to Naruto before she was struck down by Pain? You know, if you people didn't know who Pain was, This sentence reads completely differently. But as the two continued to talk and move closer to each other, it became clear that she had. But one Sakura could not figure out was why it did bother her so much when Naruto handed Hinata a ball bouquet of flowers and knelt down to let her climb on his back. Her body shook with jealousy and betrayal, as if Naruto had just cheated on her. Naruto had always been asking her out for dates, and like always, she refused. The date request had lessened a lot since he had gotten back from his mission with Jiraiya. If you excuse me for 1 sec. Oh, hi, rude group. Are you still insulting John? Yes! I had to ask, do you guys insult Naruto just as badly? Yes! I thought as much. What are you doing? Oh, preparing something special for you guys. Rasengan! The date request had lessened a lot since he had gotten back from his training mission with Jiraiya. Sensing that Naruto and Hinata were getting close, she opened the window wider and darted outside, landing on the pretty branch that moments ago occupied the said couple. Sakura hid herself in the leaves and watched the sleep through the open window. The door opened and Naruto carried Hinata to bed, setting her down. See you later, Hinata.
Have a good night, Naruto-kun.
Kiss her. Sakura could see the blush quickly spread across Naruto's face. Kiss her. As he reached down to grasp Hinata's hand, brought it to his lips and quietly kissed the back of it. You too, Hinata. Sleep well. Once again, Sakura's hand clenched against her chest.
Why? Why does it hurt? I don't have those feelings for him. Do I? Or is that jealous that he...
She concealed herself once more in the trees, watching Naruto stroll out of the hospital. A great big smirk plastered across his face as he hummed an unknown tune. As he finally returned, hoping he had given Naruto enough time to speak with Hinata. Upon seeing the blonde ninja and a big smirk on his face, he knew the answer to his question. Naruto didn't even notice Hyuga as he walked by, still humming and smirking, shaking his head. As he walked back to the hospital to return to his post, he stopped momentarily to regard the female Metakuichi hidden in the trees. Does it hurt because do what you yearn for, is it here? Or is it because deep down, you've always hidden your feelings for the other teammate? His statement was met with silence. Either way, you need to move on and stop sulking in the past. Let go, even if it will be painful. Neji didn't even wait for a response as he headed back to the hospital. Well, if Sarada's any indication, she has let go. Climbing the few staircases, he turned back to his post in Hinata's room. Opening the door slightly, he peeked in to find her fast asleep, a small smile on her lips. Even when times are tough and everything around you is going downhill, good things will rise from the ashes. Alright, if there is, before we start the review, if there are any Boruto fans in the audience who are listening to this, first off, hi! Second of all, I have to know, does Boruto possess any of Hinata's bloodline traits, or is it just his little sister? Because I am quite curious about this. And I do not feel like actually watching any of Boruto in order to see it, because I do not want to watch a really good fanfic played out in front of me. If I want to read a story about Naruto's children, I've got over 1,000 stories on Naruto on this fanfiction site to find them. Thank you. Now on to the review.
Oh my gosh, this was so romantically good.
Oh, the feelings actually did feel very, very Naruto-ish. Naruto actually being nervous and not really understanding much about his relationship. And give the guy a break. As far as he's concerned, the best way to get a girl is just to try again. Or the best way to do it is to pop up and use his sexy no tutsu as a move. That's it. That's the closest he'll ever get to a romance. But, and Hinata felt really good, and it was a good, old-fashioned, serious talk. This was something I feel like was not only needed, in Naruto proper, but necessary. Because, let's face it, I think I'm not the only one who was a little bit upset that Hinata pulls off a
I love you, Naruto.
then stab, then
I'm a knife.
then after that, nothing was stated. Nothing was talked about. They didn't come back to it. They didn't reference it again. They didn't walk back. They didn't do a damn thing. I can almost understand why. Maybe Kishimoto just didn't have that experience with romance. Here's my problem. His editor shouldn't have let him try if he didn't have that good of an experience with romance. Kishimoto should have realized his weakness then and there. This is why Oda-san does have Luffy simply wrap his arms around Nami, bend her over and go, "Babe, I love you." Because he is not, repeat, a romance mangaka. This is not a romantic mangaka. This is Naruto. But if I remember right, he did do Naruto the Last, so probably he did get better. He did get better writing romance. But since this is before that, he didn't touch upon it. And as a Naruto Hinata fan, I really wish he did touch upon that. More should have been given to that moment, to that scene of Naruto talking to Hinata, so that way we could really, really be happy that these two got together. That's my biggest issue. And, of course, this also meant that if you devoted more time to that, we wouldn't have devoted an entire scene to Naruto fainting, and the less that's said about the better, because I think Trixie has reminded me that if I continue to go on about that scene, she will electrocute me. Let's just say, I hate it. God, I hate that fainting moment. But, back to the Naruto and Hinata stuff. I also love the fact that this fic did manage to teach it at a very mature angle. And it does allow Naruto to show more of his growth. So, all in all, a quite enjoyable little romance fic that makes me very, very, very happy. Oh, that was one down, thousands more to go. I'll see you next time.